Second episode of Toronto Legends podcast. Here with me is community leader, basketball legend, Dawkins. Courtney Dawkins.
My guy.
From AKA Docs. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. It's nice and bright, even though it's been raining. It's taking the days by the storm.
As you know, we keep it moving every day, you know what I'm saying? One day at a time. How's your team doing?
We're just getting started. This year is different, coaching at the junior level. Finally have a junior team in the program, so you can say we're expanding, which is good. But we also got our seniors in OSBAs now, so we made a partnership to be able to give them a bigger platform. So that's a new experience where I'm an assistant coach. So it's been, time has been demanding, you know what I mean, having 2 practices a day and stuff. So it's different, but I'm ready for the experience. Before we even continue on, I want to say I'm proud of you. Like everything that you're doing, even like starting this podcast to like really relive basketball through Toronto, through different people that's influenced the next generation, right? So I just wanted to commend you for that, first and foremost.
Appreciate you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for being here in your time, man. It's really important that the next generation understands that, there was people who did it before them, and it took a lot of grit and grind to get to where we are today as a nation. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact.
As a nation. So congratulations to everybody who's been helping the next generation and in the community and coaching and training and teaching,
It's like, what else are we supposed to do without that knowledge that was gained through the hard grit and competitiveness that was in our era, at least, you know what I mean?
So tell me a little bit about, your basketball career.
Well,
where did it start? Like
started as being born in the world, my name says it for itself, like my uncle, Courtney Dawkins, he's helped many people in the basketball community from being kids to grown men. He's out in Jamaica now, so when you're focused on something and you're trying to achieve something, the work that needs to be done has to get done, and it's easy to stray away from that and do other things where you may not get to where you may have thought you should be. And so in saying that, it's like growing up in Malvern obviously is a hard time those times when we were kids, but that's where traveling to different communities to go and play basketball, to go and play runs, and making sure you're always on the court, you always win regardless of who's on your team, that competitive nature comes in. So like when I got onto the court, it was never a question of if I'm gonna compete, you know what I mean? Like I've won everywhere I've played. I think I've achieved. Like a lot of the teams I've played on, I've learned to be a glue guy as a point guard.
Okay.
Where this team you may need to score. On this team you may have to pass the ball. But the one thing that
defense.
You can always do is impact the game by playing defense,
100%.
doing the hard work.
You always were a hard worker. You know what I'm saying? You did your...
Locking up 94 feet was easy. You know what I mean? Controlling the game was the tempo of the game is easy when you understand exactly what's expected from that position that you're playing. Many people don't. Everyone just wants to score, and that may be your best attribute. But what else can you do when everybody on your team can score?
Exactly.
When you're used to playing with guys that may not be above talent, you know what I mean? It's easy to be the best scorer on your team, but when you play on a team with all dogs, where everyone's the best player on their high school team, how do you fit in now?
How are you gonna separate yourself from them to get minutes on the court, because they could do things that you could do either as good or better than you, right? In a sense. So now you have to do something different, It brings something different to the table. Some people don't like playing defense. Some people don't want to play go 94 feet, and
That's a fact.
So those
So
are the
like,
things that you look at.
I started off playing basketball with Roadrunners.
Okay.
And then I left Roadrunners and I went to Blues.
Play for Blues too.
And then our Blues team ended up like and when we went to grade 9, I guess you can say, we started going to the States. This is where we were introduced to AAU basketball.
Okay.
And we won. We won quite a bit out there. Like in New York, in Ohio, just 2 places I can recall off the top of my head. And that experience led to like wanting more, you know what I mean? And this is where I ended up playing for Coach Rowe in grassroots. And that's when like I was introduced to like a whole new world of basketball.
Coach Rowe, shout out Coach Rowe.
Like
Shout out to Coach
take
Rowe.
names, take scholarships. Like that's exactly where that slogan comes from. Like real Toronto legend pioneer. You know, like I gotta give him his respects. You know what I mean? Like many people may have their personal feelings based off of dealings, because like as a leader now, as a coach now, like I understand how hard it is to really get through to a player, and especially when you have their best interests at heart, you know what I mean?
Trust me.
To try and get them to where they aspire, especially when you know what it takes and you can see that they have
the
no
talent.
idea,
But
but they have the
talent.
potential, and to get them to realize what needs to be done to get to that potential, it's hard. So like
Really difficult.
as a player, I was a headache, which is why I never wanted to coach to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to coach players like myself.
You know, a lot of players, like a lot of my friends who are very good basketball players, pros and stuff, they keep saying that they don't want to coach for these exact reasons, because dealing with players like us, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to get through and trying to, you know, humble them and do, and then some of them you have to burn, and then they literally could go to the next down another path. But you weren't trying to burn them, you're trying to teach them a lesson to get them to focus or be better. Like I was one of those people. Like a lot of coaches try to do things.
The hardest thing now is like why it's hard to get through to kids is because like everyone go. There's so many teams. There's so many things now that you don't like it here, you can go here. You don't like it here, you can go there.
Exactly.
Where it doesn't matter where you go, the work still has to get put in. But like what people do is waste years and thinking it's going to be better next year. So then they waste the time that where they are rather than maximizing their time. Yeah. And still soaking up the knowledge that's being presented to them, so that
and
they can
building
get
as a team and as a unit,
so that they can get better. So like that's why I gotta say like shout out to Coach Rowe. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like definitely had our back and our forth. Me as a kid, like I was the type of player that wanted to get kicked out of practice. Like you know when you have days where you're just not there.
Yeah.
You don't want to be there, but like you have to be there.
Yeah.
That's like. The moment I heard baseline,
it's time to go.
You know, in my head, I'm checked out. I was checked out. So it's like, imagine like, you know you're supposed to run to the baseline. I'm walking. Now I'm getting yelled at.
Yeah.
And you know me. I had something to say regardless of anything, knowing I'm in the wrong. And it's like.
Another thing, like I didn't like to run, right? So I'm gonna give you a different perspective. I know we're older now, we understand, but I'm gonna give you guys a different perspective too. If you're in tip-top shape, like if you're physically better than most of the people on your team already, right?
Yeah. Why do I gotta run?
No. I'm saying I want to run because first of all I want to get big, faster, stronger, right? And also, these guys are gonna get tired. So now when they're tired, and I'm a little bit more tired than I was before, but now they're way more tired than I am, and then I'm gonna. That's
like basketball. That's basketball IQ.
You
right?
know what I'm
like,
saying?
when we were kids,
you weren't thinking that.
When we were kids, like when we were kids, I was in shape. I locked up 94 feet all games.
Running,
so like,
doing a little run is probably nothing.
I didn't want to run. It's like coaches always want
use that as a punishment. I understood that as a kid, right?
Yeah,
so for me, it's like when they say line, like, yeah, the first time I'll run, I'm gonna come first or second or third, doesn't matter, right? And then it's like when they start using it as a punishment, that's where I used to check out, because like, especially when mans aren't making it, and we gotta keep on running.
It gets annoying.
And so like this is what brought like the competitive nature like amongst us, like that made that brotherhood. This is why like the teams that I played on, like we won. It's like, I'm not running for you. So like actually speaking up, and I started telling my teammates, I'm not running for you. Like imagine being told we're only running because of you. You know, like I used to be oblivious, I guess you can say, like have blinders. Like it's like because of my actions.
That's why we're running.
And
then now he can't make the right.
So imagine a coach pulling you to the side. It's like Coach O was that coach that pulled me to the side to show me like how counterproductive my actions are to where I'm trying to get to.
So do you know what some of my coaches would do? They would just literally say, see how you said you don't want to run? They'll pull you to the side
and make everyone run?
And they're still not going to make it. As you said, those same guys are not going to make it. So everybody's running because this guy's not making it, but you're standing on the side and you're not even running. They want to fight you after.
Yeah.
After practice, they don't want to...
I had a couple coaches do that.
Yeah, I mean, so those are different type of tactics that coaches use to get the team camaraderie on the right path.
The irony of being a coach now and understanding why those things were done. I can tell you before I became a coach, like it wasn't even a thought process. But like from there, like landed in some troubles, you know. Left MT high school basketball, went to Pickering High.
Okay.
Pickering High was a great time. Like learned a lot. That takes us like same way playing with grassroots in AAU, you know what I mean? And then went to J. Clark after, got kicked out of Pickering High, went to J. Clark.
So you're somebody who's, as you're saying, you know, you did a lot of transitioning through your high school career. You've been with a lot of programs, so
a lot of hardship, a lot of experience, but like, you know, like the biggest thing that like I understand now is like all those hardships, like what happens on the court happens off the court, what happens off the court happens on the court, you know what I mean? So after all that understanding, you know what I mean? So like something I say to my kids all the time is let's maximize our time and let's build our habits from the ground up. So like in saying that, what does that mean? You as a player, you may be my point guard and your handles are good, but us as a unit, we're it's not our strength. Because if we only have one person that can dribble the ball and get guys the ball, what happens if you get hurt? What happens if you're in foul trouble? Now we're not going to be able to run plays. Now we're not going to be able to execute offense. We're going to be turning over the ball. So
everybody needs to be able to handle the basketball.
So now if we're doing dribbling drills, what normally happens is the kid that can dribble will get disinterested. Because he can do it.
Yeah, he wants to do something else to
right. So but it's like
it doesn't go like that.
When it's like there's always another level.
He should be helping the other people along with the coaches. That's where real great point is. You know,
it's like you can say that, but it's like, well, as a coach, why don't you teach him how to be a leader?
That's what it
now
is.
Since his handles are better now, when you want to show them things, you're able to use him as an example where now he can go and help guys while still maximizing his time and building his habits, right? Exactly. So now like when it comes to actually speaking to the team, what happens is they start speaking more and more because they're getting comfortable speaking because they're helping each other.
And you know, and that's where you build another coach on the court, because we would love to, sometimes I'm actually on the court pushing that like the player like into the record, like I'm going on you have to be here, like I'm not even supposed to be on the court, but I'm actually
and then I was telling you, get back.
You know, I'm literally on the court sometimes trying to help them.
And like the retention skill to hear and see at the same time is always slow. So it happens in practice. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I'm like, this is where I understand like why my teams at least were always in shape, because I was a headache and I was the reason why my team ran, right? Even though like maybe missed layups in a drill, there may be missed passes, turnovers, whatever it is, or getting told to go to the line. Like my actions, anytime we got told to go to the line, was always what pushed it over the top. And so like ironically now, like I'm thankful and happy. Like my junior team, I don't have to deal with that, you know. But like some of the kids at the senior level, like they just make me laugh, you know. But it's like for me, it brings back memories. Like I don't even get mad about it, but it's like now I know how to handle it
because you went through it and you're actually doing a lot of these things, so it makes it easier to relate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that's where like you really understand, like, you know, with the journey and the trial and tribulations of like the hardship off the court, you know. Like I come from a single parent household, you know what I mean? So like I was outside a lot because my mom was outside working 2 to 3 jobs.
Mine too.
So then, you know, that leads to like many different things, you know, like so going from getting expelled from schools.
And so you said you went from Pickering to J. Clark.
I was supposed to go. I took a visit to JUCO down south, Holy Trinity in Texas, and I should have just stayed. I came back and got into some trouble where it changed my life, and I ended up going to Centennial first. Where
did you guys win over there?
We had a very strong year and lost to Mohawk. First round of the OCAAs. It's like we couldn't get over that OCAA hump, even though we went, I want to say 18-0 or 18-1 in the regular season.
Oh, I think that's the year. Was Jim Stern on your team that year?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Tristan Stern.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Justin Jarrett, Norman Pinola,
Banco.
Natil McKenzie, like a lot of Durham guys, yeah. You know, Pickering High guys. So like that's what made me really just feel comfortable to go there in the first place. Like from getting in trouble and like not touching the basketball and doing anything is like getting my feet wet. And then that led me to going to Algonquin in Ottawa, Algonquin Thunder. And then my mom got sick. And it's like, you know, life decisions, you know, choices. Like, what am I going to do at that specific moment? Like I said, I come from a single parent household, so like I stopped going to school. Like I was there for a year and a half, I want to say, and then I stopped going to school. And then once my mom got healthy, it's like life really like hits you, you know. I got into a work injury, and then it's like you gotta figure it out, you know what I mean? I went to school for recreation and leisure services at Durham College, and then it's like the thought of playing like came back to my head. You know what I mean? In the gym, getting shots up, went to the tryout, got concussed. It's like in many ways, like you can see, like playing wise, it wasn't my actual like destiny. You know what I'm saying?
You had to change lanes, it's called. So my friend, you know, shout out to Gusto, Poetic Panther, and the whole movement that they're doing over there in motion. But he has a book called Change Lanes. Sometimes you just have to pivot.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
We spoke about that like in private, right? Like he spoke to me about like the book and stuff, and you wanted me to read it. So like I appreciate it. Like it's like one of those things, like learning how to pivot. But like because of those hardships that I faced as a kid, like getting moved from house to house and school to school, it's like I was able to weather the storm one way or another by pivoting, adjusting, and
so we're Gemini, so that's what we do.
Yeah, you know,
come on,
you know how it is. But yeah, like my mom got healthy. I chose to go to school to really start focusing on a dream. Like, you know, like every kid has a dream. My dream was always building a community center. How do I do that? So like all the work that I've put in from a player standpoint, from routine and putting in the work to be the point guard that I was, and why like I won so much, just being a glue guy and doing the work that's needed based off of the personnel on the team. It's like I learned logistics, administration. I learned a lot going to Durham College for recreation and leisure services, and then as my post-grad, I went to Seneca for event marketing, sports, entertainment, and arts. And that's led me into a whole different realm of the world, where from festivals and like this, the entertainment sector of life, that industry, there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows.
Okay.
And it's like, what are you going to do in order to be sustainable?
Like, what are you gonna bring to the table?
Yeah.
What are you gonna be mastering, right?
Yeah, it's like, for me, I was trying to just be around different sources to understand what needs to be done, because like in a book it can give you point A, point B, point C, but like in actual reality, what does that look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, perfect example is like a SWOT analysis, you know what I mean? Like, what's the strengths, what's the weaknesses, like what approach, what opportunities, like, you know what I'm saying? What things are you going to actually do to be beneficial, where this is where research comes in, where you got to look at the competitors, you got to look at different sectors, you got to look at different organizations and how they're running their business. And it's like, unfortunately, there's nothing new under the sun, you know what I mean? And people don't like to give information, people don't like to help, and people always like get mad about people taking things from them. But it's like,
That's how the
you
world
didn't invent it.
Exactly. You didn't invent it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is why getting into the community and that type of work and giving back, like for me it's fulfilling. Like seeing a kid smile based off of being shown something, being told something, and seeing it actually work for themselves, and understand that there's nothing that you actually want from them, but just to help them get better, because you guys share the same joy, the same love for the sport.
Which is right. Brother, appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything that you're doing for the community, man. They don't understand, but eventually they do, because, you know, I have a kid, he's 16 right now.
He's 16 now.
16, so, you know, I've seen him grow from
Time
0 to
flies.
16, so I know the process.
Time flies, eh?
I know the process, brother.
I don't, like, nah, man, I appreciate you. Like, honestly, like, to start something is hard, right? Like,
Very difficult, brother. Very difficult.
like I've been a part of festivals here in Toronto, and like I never actually knew how hard it was to actually run one until I went to Calgary and did one out there. And it's like, it made me actually reconsider the career and profession that I want to take in.
Better. That's it. Don't worry about nobody else. Let other people be undisciplined. You stay disciplined, because that's what's gonna separate you from everybody else. You feel me? And then they're gonna want to hang on your coattail when you're getting recruited by high schools. You feel me? Yo, let me be your friend. Yo, can I come to the game? Nah, you are with me grinding in the gym.
So, question. I know you have a foundation, or it's Shoot for a Cause.
Oh, the platform, the
Yeah,
community
the
platform.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Shoot for the Cause. You know.
Let's go take a trip to the basketball court and see if somebody. Maybe
Let me see this though.
Some kids playing
ball is
right
tough,
now.
man.
Go check it out. I want to show you. We're gonna do a little tournament out there.
Shoot for a Cause is a community platform, you know, for community by community that I created, you know, really to support one community at a time, you know. The one thing that everyone does, like if you look around, we're at a random court, you got guys playing over here, you turn over here, so you got people shooting. So it's like the one thing you can always incorporate is shooting. It's the one thing that everyone loves to do, even if they can't play.
It doesn't matter that your height,
Your
age,
age,
it doesn't matter. You want to put that basketball in the net.
inclusivity in all ways. You know what I mean? So like that's the function of it. You know what I mean? Trying to bring community, businesses, people all together for a great cause. Everyone's suffering from something. Everyone supports different things. So it's like within that, I want to be able to support different causes in many different ways. You know what I mean? So that's why I started it. We launched in December 2024, and we're gonna keep on going, one community at a time. It's a nice area.
It's a really nice area. They just built a nice community.
Have the kids playing over there. Could do some field games over here. Could get soccer going if you wanted to. Exactly. Have a nice little barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Have games. Have competitions. Have prizes. Giveaways. Get a DJ.
So there's two things that we could easily do here. The 1v1
And a 3v3.
and the 3v. Very easy. There's 2 courts. So we have 2 games going on. People separated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm more of a 4 guys than 3. Everyone does 3s. You know what I mean?
So at the tournament that we had at the Brookville tournament, we did the 4s. It was not 3s.
Smart, man.
You know what I mean? 'Cause remember, when we were younger, we always played 4s. And they have one stuff.
Just like that, but just think about it. Like when mans are driving in the whip. 1 second, you guys. When mans are driving in the whip, right? Like each man to a window.
Exactly. You could get that, you could pause, put that in a car, and just travel. So it makes it that much easier. Main question that I actually brought you here to ask you about is a question that we're asking everybody who's growing up in Toronto. Who were the people that you looked up to? Specifically, I'm more talking about NBA players because you know when growing up, there was
we had an inspiration. It came from somewhere.
and not a lot of Canadians were in the NBA, so we actually looked up to more Americans, right?
Yeah.
So like, so who were the players like in the NBA specifically, like that you kind of made you fall in love with the game of basketball?
I let the community do what they're gonna do.
You gotta
But like, as a kid that was born into the basketball community, like, you know, my name's Courtney Dawkins. If you guys don't know, my uncle's Wayne Dawkins. So I was born into
Big
the
name right there.
I was
Big
born
name.
into the basketball community. So for me, like, when I first actually sat there and watched basketball without being forced, Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Kevin Garnett, like just a couple guys to say off the top of my head. You know what I mean?
Those are very, very pivotal people to the game of basketball in Toronto itself, because there was like guys like Iverson, like you said, he changed the culture, right?
Pound for pound.
Listen, reason why we have braids and we have tattoos and our swag was
headbands,
like
arm sleeves.
because of Iverson. So you know, he
that's a
changed,
fact.
and then the Kobe mentality just kind of. But where did that?
I say Vince because like
Air Canada.
not even just Air Canada, like he did some community. Like, excuse my French, you know what I mean? But he did some community stuff where I grew up, you know what I mean? Ray Allen Park and Malvern, like, actually gave back to the community even though he wasn't from here. So it's like inspiration. You know, you should wear Vince Carter's, you know what I'm saying?
Shocks. Listen,
you know,
everybody. Listen.
If you know, you know.
Everybody knows the Shocks was me. Like I was Vince.
You know what I'm saying?
Ask around Emery. You guys know what time it is.
So like those are real pivotal guys that really paved the way for like that competitive nature, like taking names, like Coach Roy used to say. Like, when we go to the States, like it's not we're just coming to play, you know what I mean? It's like we're coming to take names and take scholarships.
Take names, man. We're to take
Like,
names.
guys in the States were already ranked. They had their platform, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you go out there, they don't know who you are. You gotta make them notice you. You know what I'm saying? It's like generation now. It's like the compete level is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of talent, but not a lot of guys want it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they're missing the work ethic that really
That
need,
grit.
Yeah, that grit
The
that you
grit.
need for the game at the next level.
But I came from like watching the game, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like NBA is different now than it was when we were going on. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone, like when I'm saying these guys that I said, like they were all on their own team. You know what I'm saying? I was like, mans were competing to be the best.
So I have a question. You said Vince.
Yeah.
You said Aya.
Yeah.
You said Kobe.
Yeah.
I'm looking for 2 more names. I want you to try to just think about 2 more names. The first one should be very easy for you because is this the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT? I thought I mentioned the GOAT.
My bad. You
I love the debate. You know what I'm saying?
There's another GOAT, but you know.
Who?
You tell me.
You're the one saying him. I'd love to hear it.
Who is the best player to ever play the game of basketball? If
you say Michael Jordan?
You didn't say Michael Jordan.
I know I didn't say MJ.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I was just messing with you. I love the debate. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I wanted you to say it.
Yeah, it's my MJ for sure.
Sure.
But so that's 4.
Yeah.
And everybody always has like a off one, but you got 4 on them. It's obviously Kobe, Michael.
I'll say for me,
Yeah.
Chris Paul. I'll say Chris Paul. As a point guard, most definitely.
So
But then it's like as you go into like eras, right? You could say Rondo. You could start saying
a whole lot of that 5th person is always up for debate. That's what I'm finding. But there's a 4 that's always been constant.
So it's like
The person that I was thinking of T-Mac for us.
Oh, for us?
For Toronto
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
T-Mac, Vince's cousin, of course. But
And
like,
he was when he went to Orlando, fam. That T-Mac Orlando.
even Houston.
That T-Mac Orlando was the guy. The
13
Houston, the
points in
13
30
points,
seconds. Come
but
on.
the whole Orlando experience of him leaving from Toronto and going there. Just imagine him and Vince being on the same team. That's what we always used to dream about it. Just remember, I'm trying to rewind it.
Them in their primes.
When he left, we're like, what if? What if? That's why I said it was really inspirational because he was young too, coming out of high school.
Nah, for sure.
Playing for the
That was
Raptors.
that was a good time, a good period of time of basketball. But it's like when you talk about today's generation, like not a lot of kids watch basketball.
Not like how we used to. They don't study how we used to study.
We just like they have. I don't know if it's they enjoy it, like the camaraderie and what basketball can do more than the work that has to actually be put in. Like, you know, that's what I mean by they don't actually love the game. You know what I mean? If you love basketball, like they all say they do, then like everything that comes with it, from the work,
Everything,
You
all
know
the
what I'm saying?
experience.
it changes everything, right? So it's like a lot of them don't understand that the energy they put in when they first get on the court is the same energy they should be putting in when they get tired, because habits, right? So then when the game comes to performance, you know what I mean? Because everything has a performance, right? So just in saying that in nature, a lot of these kids wouldn't understand just that in context. That's when the habits start to creep in for a lot of kids. So then that's where you always see the separators.
100%.
The great from the good, the good from the average,
Exactly.
the ones who train, the ones that have potential, the ones that are working towards it, the ones that aren't. Like, it's very clear
100%.
today.
I agree.
When we were playing, it wasn't.
Because everybody was. It didn't even matter if you just a regular person. You stepped onto that floor, you knew that you were gonna get. He's gonna bring his attributes to the game.
Not a lot of dogs. You know what I
Because
mean?
players are confused nowadays. They think that they could do things that they can't. One thing that they always do right now is over dribbling. They think that everybody thinks they're Kyrie or Steph, and they're not.
50 dribbles to get to a spot.
What do you? It's a jab, boom. It's a one dribble, and the person should not be able to stop you.
No, even if you jab and he doesn't,
It doesn't
and he,
move,
then
and
he
it
moves.
just
Now
shoot
you're
it.
shooting it.
Where
If
did
you
the
jab,
dribble? Where did the dribble come in?
And he comes back. Now you're putting the ball down. It's just about
Understanding why you're doing moves. They're doing all these moves, but not understanding why they're doing moves.
A lot of it goes into like habits. Like they train, and it doesn't matter who's training them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of great trainers. There's a lot of bad trainers. It doesn't matter who they're training with. A lot of kids are just going through the motions on what's being said to them. So it doesn't matter even if you show them, tell them, they still don't understand. You get what I'm saying? And that's the separating.
Talent is better than back in our day, in a sense, as a
whole, as a collective.
But the understanding of the game is down. The physicality of the game is down.
The
competitiveness of it is from the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to win.
It came into a finesse thing, you know, like who can shoot, who can do this, who can do specific
Make it look
things.
fancy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
cameras, right?
But at the end of the day,
rise of
we have to respect and give respect where it's due, because they're there for a reason, and they are putting on a show. I'm gonna be honest. I'm entertained still. To this, I'm entertained.
I bet, and I watch.
But I want them to get more of the fundamentals more into this game. Like, you know, just put the basketball in the basket.
You got me reading the ball.
You guys look out for the infinite limit shootout. Put it the tournaments. Been going to different little tournaments throughout the year. Personally picking the top shooters from each tournament, and guess what? It's about to be a showdown.
The biggest thing that I've learned in basketball is not everyone has the skill or everyone wants to play, but the one thing that everyone loves to do is shoot. You know, like you go to a basketball court, you'll see people just shooting around, even if they're walking for the rebound. There's like people just go to the court to shoot. It's something that you can do with your son, you can do with your daughter, you can do with your friends, you can do with your wife, you can do with your husband, like your parents, like. So, in saying that, it's like, for me, I lost my aunt 16 years ago to cancer, and I've lost my cousin recently to the same thing. And so, like, I partnered with Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation to be able to give back and support something that's close to my heart. And in building something for community, the goal is to support many different causes, many different programs, and really build one community at a time, regardless of which community it is. You know what I mean? So, like, something up in your life may be tragic that you want to support.
My mom passed away from cancer too, my friend.
My condolences, you know? It's like...
So that's why, you know, I want to make sure that you
this is where it's like, you know, like it's a platform for everyone to come together to whether it's mourning, whether it's happiness, whether it's love, you know, create a vibe where we all can enjoy and fundraise to really start making a difference in the city, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just a kid from Scarborough. None of this is expected from us. It wasn't expected out of us, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be dead or in jail, right? So, like, knowing those circumstances, it's like we've been able to rise above it. Now that we've risen above it, what can we do to make sure that others can rise above it?
Which is right.